You don't always know a franchise changed forever in the moment. Sometimes it starts with a name called on draft night, and years later you realize the entire league felt it. Some players fill up the stat sheet, others erase it. He showed up, owned half the field, and made the impossible look routine. Today's episode is about the trade that brought him in and the player who turned dominance into silence. Welcome to the Trade Rewind. Let's get into it.
All right, we are back with an NFL episode. I'm just going to hop into this one and see how fast you guess it. Okay. His uncle is Sean Gilbert. Does that give anything away for you?
No.
Okay. Keep going. Sean Gilbert, if you don't know who that is, one-time Pro Bowler through 11 seasons in his NFL career. He's from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania. Ring any bells?
It does not.
In the high school state championship game, they won. He had 5 touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, a punt return touchdown, and a blocked field goal return for a touchdown.
Wow.
He led the nation in interceptions as a senior. And in high school, he said his uncle used to give him money as an incentive. Anytime he got an interception, $100. Anytime he scored a touchdown, $100.
Was he a corner?
He was a corner.
Okay.
Yeah, but he said, his uncle was trying to set him up. He was like, obviously a great talent. When you make it to the league, that's how it is. All right. Like you get paid for performing. So he was trying to set that precedent. He was a high schooler. Isn't that funny?
That is funny. Yeah. I mean, it is true. Like you're playing, like, your performance gets you money. But usually when they're kids, it's like, you love the game, whatever. His uncle was letting him know early.
Yeah. Teach him what it's actually like. In his Hall of Fame speech, he said, basketball was my first love. I'm a hooper at heart. And they won their league, and he averaged 25 points per game as a senior. So they won their championship. So we got a dual sport athlete here.
Wow.
Any guesses yet?
We haven't discussed the year yet, so I don't even know where we're holding. We can, like, when was he in high school? Like,
He was in high school
context.
From 1999 to 2003.
Okay. So he came into the league in probably 2005, around then. Big time corner.
He came into the league in 2007. I can tell you where he went to college.
Yeah.
He goes to Pitt.
He goes to Pitt. This isn't Revis.
This is
Revis.
Revis.
It is Revis? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, I had a feeling. I mean,
that's why I was like, all right, how much do you know about Revis? Let's go.
I knew in my head I was going to think Revis, Champ Bailey. Like, there's a couple of corners that, like, come to your head right away. But Revis, one of my all-time favorite players.
Right. So I wanted to see. I was like, how much do you really know about Darrelle Revis?
I failed the test. I didn't. But even though it counts saying not Revis, he was still my first thought.
That's my guy. You didn't know? Didn't ring any bells?
I didn't. No, I didn't know where.
You never seen the Hall of Fame speech?
No, I haven't. I need to watch that.
Yeah, it's very short actually. I didn't even watch it, to be honest. I read it. They have it on a Hall of Fame website. So he starts at Pitt in 2004. Contributes immediately. Played defensive back. He starts 11 out of 12 games as a freshman. First team all freshman. I mean, the funny thing is when you're looking at stats for like defensive players,
it's hard,
especially defensive backs. Like there's not much to go off of.
If you're the best if you're a great corner, you should have no stats because no one throws the ball at you.
Exactly.
Like as a Jet fan, I remember like there was a year where the ball just didn't get thrown to his side of the field.
Right.
And it was like he didn't get picks, but it was because no one threw the ball at him.
Yeah. And so we'll get to that season, the famous 2009 season. In college, as a sophomore and a junior, he's first team All Big East. He wins college football player of the year as a junior, not the Heisman, one of these other awards.
Yeah.
2 pick sixes also as a junior. At one point in his college career, Aliquippa, not the safest, best area. He goes home and him and his brother like go to the store and wrong place, wrong time, get shot at. He's got like bullets in his car. He drives back home and his mom's like, you're staying at Pitt. Pitt's not so far. That's why he wanted to be close to home, whatever. But it was just like that stuff happens sometimes. Like not even, they were just happened to be literally, it was like, not like they didn't start anything. It's just like crossfire, whatever. car gets hit. His mom's like, I don't want to see you anymore. Stay at Pitt. So crazy. He forgoes his senior season, obviously, to enter the NFL draft, which you got to do at that point.
Yeah.
Not seeing so much of that anymore.
Well, with NIL.
Yeah.
You know?
No longer worth it. I mean, we're really seeing people stay for questionably stay, right? Like,
I mean, look at Moore.
yeah, Dante Moore.
Dante Moore, dead to me, to avoid the Jets staying home. Let's see how it pays off for him, okay?
I know. I mean, I don't know, Orlovsky, whoever was on ESPN, and they were talking. They were saying like, it's not so simple that you're just going to be considered a top 2 pick in the next draft.
Right, there's more quarterbacks. It's a good class.
Like, you could easily lose a ton of money. I mean, I kind of hear it.
Well,
No offense.
but you are getting a lot of money because to stay, he's probably getting paid $5-6 mil.
You're right. He's probably getting $5 million. That seems to be the going rate for high level
And
quarterbacks.
I will say, Tom Brady talks about this, how quarterbacks are not getting developed anymore. And he says you should stay in college for 4 years because the NFL, like, you don't get developed there. Just like get in there.
Right.
So I get that maybe, but a top 2 pick, like, just take it.
Yeah, and a lot of guaranteed money that comes with that.
And because I'm salty, I'm gonna say, if you think you're that good, Dante Moore, then go be on the Jets and prove it. But you're afraid of facing the heat, so you're kind of ducking some smoke. That's what I feel like.
100% ducking
As a Jets
smoke.
fan.
But I mean, I guess you also have to remember that this is these guys' careers, and we've seen the Jets ruin
All the quarterbacks.
every guy's career. So kind of makes sense from that perspective.
You are right, and I mean, this happens. If you get drafted to the wrong place, your career might never take off.
Yeah. Or we'll take off 8 years later, like Sam Darnold.
So I don't. If it wasn't the Jets, I wouldn't blame him. But it's the Jets, so screw it. Screw that guy.
There. I'd like to see he goes
It's fine.
back.
We got Geno Smith, so all's
Right.
well.
Yeah, you guys are good.
Which I think he's the best QB in the league. If you want to tank, if he throws enough picks, he'll get you enough losses.
So that's what I was gonna say. You know, Dante Moore, if you're available, first overall next year. You might
That'd
not,
be funny. That'd be funny if like he's like top next year and the Jets just take him
which still might be a better situation though if it's new head coach. Because
a year later.
I
Well,
mean-
no, I don't think they're gonna get rid of Aaron Glenn. It's only year 2.
after year 2, you don't think if he gets them the first overall pick?
We'll see. All right, the haters with Geno, he ain't right back. All right, he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Jumping
back into Darrelle Revis. He went to the combine for meetings, but he couldn't participate in drills because of a hamstring injury. He did participate in the Pitt Pro Day. 3.3840, which is very good.
4.
Sorry. 4.3840.
I'm gonna say if you beat everyone by a full second, the guy's the goat.
Still might be. But yeah, 4.3840, 38-inch vert, 16 bench press reps. Like to see that from a corner. Defensive back. Very impressive.
Yeah, it's interesting because to be a great corner, like you're not supposed to be like jacked because you gotta be quick and move. So like you can't be heavy,
Yeah.
but at the same time you gotta be able to tackle. So it's I think outside of quarterback, because quarterback obviously you have so much on you. Outside of quarterback, in terms of like physically, I think corner is the hardest position. Maybe even in sports, like you're taking the best athletes. And they get to decide where they're going. You don't know where they're going. You can't hold them. All the penalties go against you. Like it's one of the most difficult positions in sports.
100%. It's so reactionary. And we talked about this briefly, I think, last week, but you're playing against the best, like some of the best athletes in the world. And you have to be able to react to them.
Right. In football, if you would ask like which position usually has the best athletes, it's probably receiver.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all on the hips. His hips, I think. They said, well, like watching him do drills at the pro day, you would just see him without turning almost. Like his hips were just so loose. And that's, when you think about it, that's what he has to be able to do.
Change the direction like that.
Yeah. Okay. So why are we doing this? He was traded on draft day. Well, the pick used to draft him. Do you remember this?
No.
The Jets traded up they tried trading up to 10th overall with the Texans to get him, and it fell through. They end up successfully trading up with the Panthers to 14. They draft Darrelle Revis 14th overall with the pick. In return, they give up their first-round draft pick in 2007, the current season, and a 2007 second-round pick, and a 2007 fifth-round pick. So it ends up being 14th overall and a sixth-rounder. That goes to the Jets. The Panthers get 25th overall, 59th overall, and 164th overall. So a first, a second, and a fifth to move up. And this is actually kind of interesting. If you didn't know, these picks turn into 25th overall. The Panthers draft John Beeson. He was a linebacker. He played 7 seasons in Carolina and was a 3-time Pro Bowler. So, a solid player. They get at 25. And 59th overall, they draft Ryan Khalil, a center, 13 seasons with Carolina, 5-time Pro Bowler.
Wow.
So, not nothing. And then 5th-round pick was Tim Shaw, was irrelevant. And the 6th-rounder that the Jets got back was Corey Hall, also irrelevant.
Pretty interesting. The Panthers actually got some pretty good pieces.
Yeah, extremely important pieces.
I don't think any of them were Hall of Famers, though.
No,
if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think so. I mean, I guess Ryan Khalil would be their best shot, but
neither of them would, be considered possibly the best corner ever. I'm just saying.
No,
as a Jets homer,
I would agree with that, and we'll obviously get to that in the grade segment of this.
Yeah, I'm already just making my case. I mean, as a Jet fan, some of my fondest memories of the Jets involves Revis being there. Like those back-to-back AFC championships, he was on the roster. His 100-yard pick six against the Dolphins, I'll never forget. 99 yards, whatever that was. That was a clear passing interference, some say. I don't care. He picked it off, brought it back for 6. I remember watching Randy Moss on the Patriots beat Revis for a deep touchdown and catch it one-handed and never put his second hand on it. And I remember just being so incredibly in awe. Like, how did anyone beat Revis? This guy's unstoppable. And he pulled his hamstring that play. He ended up being injured. But it was just I couldn't comprehend someone beating Revis. He was that unstoppable and teams would not throw his way. The guy was incredible.
Yeah. Just an awesome player. So yeah, he was also, the best ability is availability, as they like to say. He started every single game he was healthy for. He was healthy over his first 5 seasons, so basically until he tore his ACL in 2012. He played all 16 games, besides for 2010, where he only played 13 games. So we're talking about a guy who also was...
So that means he missed 3 games until then. It's
exactly.
Pretty good.
He missed 3 games over his first 5 seasons. So
and the first 5 seasons of playing great football. He was elite.
Yes, 100%. He was first team All-Pro years 3 through 5 and a Pro Bowler years 4 through 5. So everything besides his rookie season, and even his rookie season, he was good.
Right. It's funny to say. I mean, he was first team All-Pro, but wasn't a Pro Bowler. That's weird.
No. The opposite. Sorry. He was first team All-Pro
twice,
3 times, and a Pro Bowler 4 times.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, he was very good from the beginning, but his 3rd season in the league, his 2009 season, is the most famous season. I'm going to run through it quickly. Some of the highlights. Andre Johnson held to 35 yards on 4 catches. Randy Moss held him to 24 yards on 4 catches. Marquise Colston, 2 catches for 33 yards. Ted Ginn, 2 catches for 57 yards.
And this is when Ted Ginn was considered pretty good.
T.O., 3 catches for 13 yards. Randy Moss again, 5 catches for 34 yards.
Unbelievable.
Steve Smith, 1 catch for 5 yards. T.O. again, 3 catches for 31 yards. Roddy White, 2 catches for 16 yards. Reggie Wayne, 3 catches for 33 yards.
So, did anyone break 40? This is unbelievable.
Yeah, one guy broke 40. Lewis Murphy of the Oakland Raiders had 58 yards. And, Ted Ginn had 57, but only on 2 catches.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's so crazy because a corner is one of those positions. It's a little bit like, you remember the Chargers drafted that O lineman, big dude. It was the first pick made by Harbaugh.
Yeah, what's his name?
And he got hurt this year. That's why they struggled.
Joe Alt.
Yeah, Alt. And he said you can be a defender. You only need to win once and get a sack. But O linemen, If you make one mistake and get a sack, you're a terrible lineman. If every game you get one sack. And corners like that too, where like if one play you get burnt or you fall for a fake, it's a touchdown and you had a bad game.
Yeah.
And Revis to be that consistent, just like constantly like game by game, there's 30 passing plays a game, and he's giving up 20 yards, 30 yards to the top receivers in the league. The guy was so consistently good. I mean, they called him Revis Island for a reason.
Yeah.
It was such a luxury for the Jets that they could just basically ignore half the field. Like, hey, you take this guy, and we're gonna worry about everyone else.
Yeah, and if you look it up, what was the best cornerback season of all time? It's consensus to me. I mean, from what I saw, everyone says Darrelle Revis, 2009, greatest season we've ever seen from a cornerback.
Wow.
What's the kicker here, though? He doesn't win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, it's hard to as a corner.
It gets worse. Who does win it?
Let me guess. Is it Palomalu?
No.
No. Is it Ed Reed?
No.
I'm trying to think who's Give me a hint. What team?
Packers. You should get it now.
Oh, it's Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
Okay, he was great.
Charles Woodson wins Defensive Player of the Year.
Probably had a bunch of pick sixes.
He had, I don't know, a bunch. He had a couple. Like, he had a pick six or two. He had some strips. He had some sacks. Like, he did more statistically, but really, like, that's not
Corner is a position that the less statistics, the better.
right.
Like, if you have a bunch of tackles, that means your guy keeps catching the ball on you.
Right. So, I mean, sacks, obviously, and interceptions. I mean, still, interceptions are interesting because it means they're throwing towards you.
Right. So, like, if you're, that's why it's such a hard position to like, and like you already mentioned right away, like stats. It's weird looking at stats for for corners. Like, the greatest stat you can have as a corner is they never threw your way, but then you have no stats.
Yeah. So, I mean, knowing what we know now, right? I think from a stats point of view, we've moved more towards advanced statistics and understanding analytics, understanding things better. If he had that season in 2026, replace Randy Moss with Jamar Chase, replace T.O. with Justin Jefferson, you think he wins Defensive Player of the Year?
Is it this past season? Because Myles Garrett broke a record.
Let's just, in general,
would people respect what he did as much now? Would they respect him more?
Right. I'm saying it's the same season. He finished number 2 in Defensive Player of the Year behind Charles Woodson. Would this have been enough to get him to win Defensive
What year was this again? 2009?
This is 2000.
They made the AFC Championship that year?
Yeah, and I'll pull up, but I mean, that doesn't count.
But that helps that they were a playoff team. They were a good team.
And this is...
Even though they were a wild card team.
Charles Woodson stats. You want to hear the stats?
Yeah, let's hear them.
The problem is, I don't know how many yards he gave up. He did have three pick sixes. He had 4 forced fumbles. He had 2 sacks. And he had 74 tackles.
How many total picks did he have?
9 TFLs. He had 9 total interceptions.
And so those are very good numbers. 3 pick sixes, 9 total. Those are very good numbers.
But it's interesting because when you Google, I'm Googling right now, what's the best cornerback season in NFL history? People say Champ Bailey 2006, Darrelle Revis 2009, Nnamdi Asomugha 2007.
Does anyone say Woodson?
Rod Woodson 1993.
Woodson.
But no one says Charles Woodson.
So I'll play a little devil's advocate, even though it should have been Revis. But my little devil's advocate is that being a great corner and being Defensive Player of the Year are 2 different things. So Defensive Player of the Year isn't a go to guy who gets some cool stats and like just because that's like what gets people to vote for them, even if it's not right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
but to me, being Defensive Player of the Year means you were the most valuable defensive player.
Yeah, I wonder if it's a good question. I wonder if now with all the advanced stats, it would have been Revis.
And to me, if you ask the Packers that year, what do they say? Would they rather have had Woodson on their team or Revis on their team?
Of course they'd rather have Revis, I would assume. But Woodson, by the way, how many fumbles he forced? The guy causes a ton of turnovers.
Right.
9 picks and 5 fumbles. That means he was averaging like 1 turnover a game he was causing.
Yeah, I want to be clear. This is not supposed to be a knock on Charles Woodson. Right. Like, he had a phenomenal season. He's
comparing apples to apples.
Right.
Like, these are both top guys.
And he should be recognized for that.
He's a Hall of Famer.
I just am curious if we would have,
right,
put 2 and 2 together in 2026, we'd be able to
it's
view
funny.
that more. I don't know.
I was so invested in the Jets that season, but I don't even remember being angry about that, because we made the AFC Championship. I was so focused on other things. I wasn't really like focused on, campaigning for Revis.
Yeah, and you probably also like back then we didn't think like that. We were just like, yeah, it makes sense. This guy had 3 touchdowns, he had
But
9 interceptions.
I mean, even when that happened, like not even looking back at that time, Revis was consensus the best corner in the league.
Right, but like you're saying, we didn't. That's just not how we gave awards
Right.
out back.
Yeah, I mean,
So I don't know if anything's changed or not.
I do think he was snubbed, and Revis. I mean, the dude was so special. It was like the guy was just so good. It just doesn't. It's hard to even understand it, and it's hard because like even watching highlights doesn't really do it justice because the highlights, his best highlights are they didn't throw the ball.
Right.
So, but it was just crazy. Like you'd watch a game and another game and another game, and all these receivers would come into our building and wouldn't touch the ball.
Yeah.
And you just knew as a Jet fan, it's like, okay, we're gonna just take away, like, we'll take away that guy, we'll take away Randy Moss, we'll take away Steve Smith, we'll take away Steve Smith. Like there was all these great receivers, and it's like, hey, we're gonna put this guy on him, and you won't hear his name today.
Yeah.
And like that was such a cool thing to see. It's just you can't really see that in highlights. It's very hard to understand.
And I mean, sorry to do this to you, but it's really was parallel with the only success we've seen the Jets have in the last 20 years.
100%.
And because there's so much to work with when you have someone who's so much better than everyone else that you literally, it's a quarter of the field. We're not even thinking about it. An island named after him. Like,
I mean, and the reason the Jets were good those years is they had an elite defense. They weren't there. You know who their quarterback was?
Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez. So it wasn't that, and they didn't throw the ball a lot. They were a ground and pound team, and they had such a good defense that they could play the position battle some games. And that defense gave Peyton Manning issues, and this maybe not that year, but that defense beat Tom Brady on the road in the playoffs. Like that defense was elite, and so much of it was because you can rush more guys when you have a Revis. You don't need to worry about doubling their best receiver. You can double their second to best receiver and take him out of the game because you have Revis focusing. Like there was just so many things that on an all-time defense, at least the Jets' all-time defense and their most success, so much of it was because you had a guy who could just take away problems for you and you could not even think about him.
Yeah. And so much of that goes to him for, playing 16
So
games.
consistently.
Like
yeah.
not missing games. Because when you lose that, I mean, I just watched my Ravens. The second Kyle Hamilton came out of the game last week of the season, it was like, all right, let's just give up touchdowns.
It's a whole different
flag.
sport.
Yeah. So I wanna get back into his 2009 season very quickly. Round 1, plays against the Bengals. Chad Ochocinco, 2 catches for 28 yards and an interception.
That was a Saturday game at like 4. I remember watching that. Unbelievable. So much fun.
They won 24-14.
Mhm.
Next round, they play against the 2 seed Chargers. He guarded a bunch of people, but he was only targeted 3 times. 2 were incomplete. 1 was intercepted off the shoe of Vincent Jackson. Won 17-14. And then first AFC championship since 1998. Run into the Colts and Peyton Manning. Lose 30-17.
And that game, people forget. Sean Green. I think is it Sean Green or Thomas Jones? I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. Their running back gets hurt in the first half. He was dominating the game, and then he gets hurt, and the game kind of flipped. But that team was, Rex Ryan, like that group holds a real special place in my heart for those couple of years. They were unbelievable, and Revis was like such a big part of it. And what's also so great about him is like the dude didn't talk. Like he wasn't smack talking. I couldn't even right now. I probably wouldn't recognize his voice. Like he just like showed up, did his job at the highest possible level, and then left without anyone without making any noise about it.
Yeah, he made my life very difficult trying to put together this episode because I'm out there like scouring the web. There's nothing. He's one podcast. He went on a podcast with like Brandon Marshall and some other guys, but he didn't even really talk about his career. Like they were just talking current events. His Hall of Fame speech is like 2 minutes long.
Like, this guy is like a little bit like what people say Marshawn Lynch is. Like he's the true, whatever you want to call, like he's the real one. This dude he's just the quietest guy. There's no noise, no drama. He just shows up and dominates.
Also, like anything that was funny story from him was unintentional. He like was just talking in a press conference and like called like called what's his name, Randy Moss, like a slouch or something. And then after the game, they asked him about it. He was like, "Yeah, I mean, I think he kind of gave up." Like, but I don't even know if I don't think he's trying to mess with guys. I think he's just like,
That's who he is.
that's just what he interpreted. He's like, yeah, he just seems like he kind of gave up out there. He's hilarious. Like the one,
By the way, that's how good he was. That you'd go 3/4 of the game or the first half, and a guy runs 18 routes and hasn't even sniffed a pass attempt, and then eventually they stopped running their routes seriously.
Yeah.
Because he made them literally give up. Like, the ball's not coming my way. I might as well just not really run this route that hard.
Yeah. So he was his only funny moments are like they say he's like, like quiet but like funny and witty. And I think there was one on the Patriots where they're interviewing him and they ask him, "Oh, how has it been adjusting to the defense?" And he's like, "Honestly, I have no idea what's going on." And then there's just like silence in the room and he's like, "I'm just messing with you guys."
Oh, that's so good.
So there's like one of those, but other than that, really,
Yeah, gives me a little bit of like Kawhi vibes where he's just like very like literal. Like,
Yeah.
he's just a very literal person.
and it's interesting to see, like, Rogers was just on McAfee, first time talking for a while, and Rogers said, and we'll see if it happens, that he's like, "This is it for me. Like, once I play, I'm done. I understand that, like, I get attention because I'm have had a very successful NFL career, but once I'm done, like, you're not gonna hear from me anymore. Like, my goal is not to be in the spotlight," and that's what Rivas actually did.
Revis did that. Do we believe Rogers?
I don't know. Find out.
I mean, if he really wasn't interested in being in the spotlight, would he go on Pat McAfee once a week? And I know you're a Pat McAfee guy. I'm a Pat McAfee guy. I love Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Rogers kind of likes the attention.
I mean,
He's even milking the whole thing with his new wife. Like, no one knows who it is, and he loves that. Like, I don't know. He's such an enigma
yeah.
that sometimes when a lot of times, like, a lot of the things he says that is claiming like stop paying attention to me, I want to be low key, brings more attention to him. So I don't know about him. Revis is lives that.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see with Aaron Rodgers. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers guy. I know not everyone is. Let's
I'm
hop.
on and off with him. I am. I mean,
I know I was off for a little bit.
when he came to the Jets, I mean, I was like, he's our hero, and then he had that, he came out with the American flag, and this is it, and then he didn't play. He got hurt right away. So it didn't work out with him. I tend to overall like him, but he's not like low key like Revis. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
No, definitely not to the same degree. But also, you command, like, people want to talk to you more when you're
A quarterback.
star quarterback for
Mhm.
20 years. Whatever. We'll talk about Rodgers another day. 2010 season, so right after, he holds out for majority of training camp because he was about to get $1 million in the fourth year of a 6-year contract.
While
after-
being the best in the sport.
right. And not just like for 1 year in a row, for a couple years now.
And at a position that you don't really have such a long career. I mean,
Yeah.
he had a pretty good, but it's hard to be great that long at corner.
Yeah, he played 11 seasons total, and that's long, and it was basically only like the last year that he was really bad, or the last 2 years he was really bad, but it's hard because the second you lose just like half a step as a corner, you're done.
Uh-huh.
So he holds out, it works. He gets 4-year, $32 million contract.
I remember being so happy when he got paid. Like, as a fan, like, usually you take the team side. Like, come on, man, just show up. But like, we want him to get paid. Like, he's the guy. We want him.
No, I think as a fan, like, if it's I mean, depends what they're asking for, I guess.
But like, I was like, at that point was like, just give him anything he wants. Like,
Yeah.
it's Darrelle Revis. It's
Right.
Revis Island. Give him anything.
And it wasn't a bad contract by any means.
Right.
Like, he completely deserved it. He has another great season in 2010. Wild card round, holds Reggie Wayne to 1 catch for 1 yard. They beat the Colts. They beat the Patriots in the divisional round, which is, I mean, also just like the teams they were beating are insane teams. It's sad that they never made it out
We're
of the
talking about
AFC
Peyton
Championship.
Manning and Tom Brady.
Right. They go to back-to-back AFC championships, and then they lose to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Like,
That game, I have nightmares about that game, especially the goal line. There was a goal line situation where I think after first down, the comm stopped working in the helmet, and because of that, the second down play kind of like started, like they got it in late, and then like it kind of messed up that whole goal line, and I just remember that specific goal line like really changed the whole game.
yeah.
That game, the Patriots beating the Patriots in Foxborough, and this was Tom Brady at the peak of his powers. That was a really, really special game. That was like all time. And that's why, like, that group, we didn't win, but I'll always be like Rex Ryan, Darrelle Revis, Bart Scott with the famous "Can't Wait." You know the famous "Can't Wait."
No.
They beat first round. They beat the Colts,
Right.
and then did they beat the Patriots in the last 2 years in a row? No.
No.
I'm even mixing up my story. I can't remember if it's after the Patriots or before. But Bart Scott has a famous interview after the game where they just won, and he's all fired up, and they're like, "All right, like it was before the Patriots, after the Colts. Like, congrats, you guys beat the Colts, underdogs. You went and beat them, and now you're going to Foxborough next week." And he's like, "Can't wait." And that became like the rallying cry. Like, can't wait. Like, we're not afraid of them. Can't wait.
Yeah.
So that was a special group. I'm sorry, this whole episode just became me just nostalgia. Like, that's my favorite team.
That's what I wanted. One of your favorite players, one of your
That's-
favorite teams. I was gonna say,
My favorite team ever. Maybe there's a couple of Knicks teams that come close, but like that Jets team, those 2 years were so special.
yeah. I mean, I didn't want to tip it off too much, but I was gonna say, like, I know I'm kind of hosting, but this is really your episode.
This is my episode. It's nice to have a memory of the Jets that's nice and good and positive, and it's nice to see like a situation where the Jets like made the right moves. It's so rare.
And on that note, we're gonna get to some unfortunate times.
Yeah.
2011, they go 8-5, lose the last 3 games, miss the playoffs. 2012, Revis considers holding out, doesn't, because he wanted to restructure, whatever. He shows up, only plays 2 games, tears his ACL. Devastating. He's rehabbing. This was like the most kind of Revis let people in is his Darrelle Revis, A Football Life. They followed him during his whole rehab. I assume they were trying to follow him, like their intention was to follow him during that season, and then he tears his ACL. So it was pretty like you don't get too much insight, but it seemed like he wanted to go back to the Jets, and they kind of like there were a lot of hard feelings there
Yeah.
when he left. Like Rex Ryan, it was awkward, very weird. They end up trading him before he he doesn't suit up again. I mean, we'll get to it. He eventually will, but he doesn't play another game for them. And they trade him to Tampa Bay, to the Bucks, for a first rounder, 13th overall, which turns into Sheldon Richardson, who he was on the Jets for 4 seasons, 9 total seasons in the league. He was a defensive tackle.
He was a good player.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. Only a one-time Pro Bowler.
Mhm.
So, whatever. We're not going to really get into that trade, but immediately upon being traded, the Bucks make a mistake, but good for Revis, I guess. Sign him to a 6-year, $96 million deal. Sorry, it was actually zero guaranteed, so not so bad. And he has a great season with them, coming off ACL, but he was a bad fit for Lovie Smith's defense, and they tried trading him, but couldn't, so they cut him.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting because I just said a couple weeks ago when we were talking about Jerome Bettis, I was like, if a new coach comes in and you know that guy's not going to fit your scheme, trade him right then.
Yeah.
And they couldn't trade him probably because of the
They paid him,
contract.
yeah.
But
Especially a guy coming off an ACL, 6-year deal.
yeah. But I mean, this was after
His
playing really
agent-
well.
Bad agent to let it be none of it guaranteed. That's not good.
Yeah. So it gave them the ability to cut him, but
None of that would happen in today's day and age.
no.
No agent would allow his player to get that big of a deal without some of it guaranteed.
Yeah. But I mean, maybe that's part of why I was I don't know. Whatever it is, I want to give Lovie Smith a little bit of credit for just being like, he's a good player. He doesn't fit my scheme. I'm trading him. Because, I mean, they didn't end up trading him actually, but just, it's good to just admit that from the beginning and not have to go through, you're getting in trouble. Why is he on the field? Why is he performing? Blah, blah, blah.
Right. It's interesting. Was Lovie Smith, he got hired after they already signed him?
Yeah. This was a year later.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 2014. So he gets cut. The Patriots tried re-signing Aqib Talib, couldn't get him. So they give Revis a 1-year, $12 million deal. He signs with the Pats, wins a Super Bowl, and hates being there. And I was thinking, maybe this is him being a hooper at heart. He doesn't actually want to try. He doesn't like, that's what he said. He didn't like the system. He's like, there's other ways to win. All right, you never did it. You never won any other Super Bowls. He did come close. In his defense. He did come close. But, maybe that was the margin. But he said he
I
didn't
don't know
want
if that's Hooper at heart or real. He was a Jet at heart, and it hurt him to win as a Patriot. That's as a Jet fan, that's the cope I have. That he didn't want to be there. He
yeah,
wanted to win as a Jet.
could be whatever it is. I was like, come on, man, like you can't admit that you hated being there because it was too like you won a Super Bowl there. Just say it was great. I want to.
But you know how it is with the Patriots. They're very intense. It's a little bit with Belichick. There was a part of it that was the no fun league. So there's a lot of people that come out and say, even though we were winning, I didn't have fun there. It was too much for me. It's Martellus Bennett maybe came out and said that. There's a lot of guys who've left the Patriots because of that, even though they won.
We both have full-time jobs. Is it always fun?
Is it ever fun?
That's like it's not about having fun. This is your job. You do it and it's hard. And that's how life is. So whatever. We don't need to get too much into my philosophy on this. But after that 1 year, he hates it so much. He hates winning so much that he goes back to the Jets and they sign him, which is egregious. 5-year, $70 million deal. This is he's going to be 30 years old that season.
Yeah.
And they sign him 5 years. No corner is playing well into year 5.
Yeah.
39 guaranteed.
This was the Lifetime Achievement Award. This was like, they love this guy.
Yeah, which honestly is fair. Truth is, he earned it for one season. He has another good season.
His first 2 years were solid, right?
No, that was
just his first
one
year?
and done. 2016, big fall off, worst season ever. It's not like the QBR against him like shoots up 30 points. Like it was complete fall off. Jets release him. Chiefs sign him to a 2-year, $11 million deal. He plays 6 games for them and gets cut in the 2018 offseason, retires a couple of months later.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Like, an all-time great like that, even, you don't get to end the way you want. Like, and football's it's a cruel sport where, like, even the best in the world, it's so rare you get to decide, like, you're riding off into the sunset. Like, it doesn't happen for everyone like that.
Yeah. I mean, I put together his accolades. It's always going to be hard with defensive players. 7-time Pro Bowler, first-time first-team All-Pro, Super Bowl champ. Going to say it's the greatest single season ever for a cornerback, second in Defensive Player of the Year, 29 interceptions, nearly 500 tackles. This was actually interesting to me. I thought this was a really good gauge of how good a player actually is when you're talking about players like this. The NFL Top 100. Where do other players see you on a season-to-season basis? Usually I don't necessarily care, whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought for Revis, this is actually interesting. The sad thing is it starts after 2009. So it's the next season.
Do players vote in it? Or
Yeah. It's just players. Players vote their peers. So the next season, 8th in 2010.
8th in the league.
8th. Yeah, they consider him the 8th best player. 2011, they consider him the 5th best player. 2012, he still gets voted at 67th. I think they felt bad about the ACL. I think this is the year on the Bucks, 37th. Year on the Patriots, 17th, and the last year, 24th. So we can see that he's still considered one of the top guys.
I mean, look at his, like, rare to have a corner like even be at the top of these things. Like,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool to see. I mean, it's such a weird position to statistically like judge. It's a little bit like a center, like an O lineman. Like,
Yeah.
what do you really judge? Like, how many sacks were given up? But
Right, Pro Bowls and
like
the name, I guess.
Yeah, like a center's best. Like, if he's doing a great job, no one mentions his name. And the same thing with a corner. If he's doing a great job, and especially with Revis, some other guys like they're getting picks. Revis, when he was doing his best, is the ball didn't come his way. So like you didn't mention his name
Right.
until after the game. You're like, oh wow, like no one threw a Revis the whole game again. You know?
Right. And quarterbacks, they're not even looking that way. It's just like sectioned off. Like I think in practice the week before, it's like you may as well just
throw it
pretend
at guy.
that this. I'm sure all the schemes are just like, is that the guy to just like occupy Revis, and I'll worry about everyone else.
Right. Like it's interesting because if he was a worse corner, he would have gotten more picks because the ball would have come his way more. But he was so good, the ball didn't come his way that often.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, everyone knows we're just, as long as we don't let this one guy beat us. It's usually an offensive thing, right?
Yeah.
Like Patriots motto is like, all right, like when they're playing against the Falcons,
Take away their best guy.
right? Take away their best guy. Take away Julio Jones. It's funny to see it happen on defense.
Yeah.
Take away their best guy.
Don't go that way.
We'll send 2 guys to him. We'll figure it out with everyone else. All right. So I'll quickly remind you of the trade, but what it basically ends up being is Revis, Hall of Famer, one of the best corners of all time. This was an awesome quote from his Hall of Fame speech. What Jordan is to Kobe is prime to Revis Island. You came first, and I wanted to play just like you. You were the roadmap to greatness. Thank you for paving the way.
I love that. That's cool.
So,
And
that's what
he's
he was-
basically calling himself Kobe.
yeah, I mean, that's what he was chasing,
Yeah.
obviously. And you could argue he got there. I mean, when you look who's considered the top corners of all time, he's going to be in every top 5. I think people give other guys the edge, but because, longevity, maybe whatever it is, he's one of the greats. It's not a question. Darrelle Revis, Hall of Famer for John Beeson, who Carolina got 3 Pro Bowls out of, and Ryan Khalil, who they got 5 Pro Bowls out of, linebacker and center. So not nothing, like they got 2 very useful players. They did trade, the best corner that we've seen since Deion Sanders probably. But I don't know. Take it away. What are you grading?
It's an interesting thing because they actually got like 2 starters for a while. Like,
yeah,
they actually made a pretty good trade. It just happens to be that Revis became a Hall of Famer, and it just happens to be like they probably weren't even looking for a corner. So like, it's an interesting thing because like that's where the draft is weird. Like they probably didn't need a corner, and they were like, we need more picks. So
right.
I don't really blame the Panthers, but as a Jets homer, I'm going to say it's a lot worse than it really is. Really, I'd say like maybe a 6.2. The truth is, and let me change it actually. I really think it's like a 4 point whatever, like 4.3. It's not such a bad trade. It is interesting because I didn't even remember that the Jets traded for that pick. I just remember like how awesome Revis was. But yeah, I'd say like 4.2 because overall, if you told the team, hey, you're going to get combined 8 Pro Bowls and 2 starters for combined 10 to 12 years because you're trading 1 first rounder, like that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
So I don't think the Panthers made such a bad trade. I just think the Jets made a great move.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat. I had it as a 4.1. Like they didn't make the wrong decision. They made the right decision with what they knew at the time.
Yeah.
100%. And I'm still giving it A grade, right? Like I'm not saying it's a 0 because you gave up a Hall of Famer at the end of the day, which you never want to do. So it gets A grade, not the worst grade ever, but yeah, that's my feeling. That's where I have it.
All right. Thanks for letting me just reminisce about the good old days on the Jets.
Yeah, and anything else you wanna get out?
Rex Ryan, get him back in the league. The guy was so exciting. He talked all that smack, and then he stood, and then he backed it up for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I don't like seeing him on Get Up. I don't like seeing him on ESPN. I want him in the league. The guy was so entertaining. He's a great defensive coordinator. Rex Ryan, get him back in the league.
And he also would like to coach the Jets. It's kind of funny to me that the only time the Jets have had success in the last however many years, 20 plus years, has been with Rex Ryan. And every time, which is, every year, every 2
You know how
years.
it is. It didn't end well. He went especially because he went to the Bills after. There's some animosity there. Yeah, but I agree. The guy, you could still tell the way he talks about them. He loves the Jets. He cares about the Jets, and he was angling for the job when they got Glenn. It was very clear he wanted that job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every year or 2 years, they're looking for a coach, and there's Rex Ryan waiting to get the call. And
I hope someone just gives him a chance and gets him back in the league because he's just awesome. Just
I
a
don't
good
think
dude.
I think the only job he wants
Is the Jets.
is the head coach of the New York Jets.
Can we take him as I guess he's a T coordinator, which already Glenn is. The truth is the game has probably passed him by. Like he's been in the league so long that and schematics have all changed. But
I don't know.
but I do love him and New York needs like a guy who's just like unabashedly like himself and it's just like I remember when he first got there and then when he's like our goal is to win the Super Bowl and people were laughing at him. Like
Yeah.
the Jets win the Super Bowl, like your goal should be to win a couple of games. But he was he kept saying it and he kept standing on it and they got pretty close.
Yeah, 2 straight AFC Championship games.
Yeah.
They did their best. I mean, whatever. Like, my take is just at this point, forget about schematics. Just bring him back to be a leader of men, be more CEO role, and then get a defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator.
I'd love for him to be just with the Jets organization in some way.
Right, you want a culture setter.
Yeah, he's awesome in that way. I agree.
Yeah. All right, peoples. That's all we got.
Thanks for doing this for me. That was nice.
This was a gift from me to you.
All right.
All right. See you guys. Thank you for listening to The Trade Rewind. You can find us on social media at The Trade Rewind on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
If you enjoy listening to the show, the best thing you can do for us is to leave us a 5-star on Spotify and share the episode.